I know, we just fucking for all our friends.
Greetings, my boils, my ghouls, and my zools. Today we are wrapping up the saga of the AK-74 from the gravy-sucking pigs at Palmetto State Armory. So we started out blasting off some rounds, just doing a function check with it. What did we get? Was it 210 rounds, was it? Went back to the range after putting on some parts and tuning it up a little bit. And, you know, gave it a little bit of abuse with doing some drills. And then we wrapped it up by taking it over to Texas Kalashnikov. So one thing to note about Texas Kalashnikov is it's technically a 5-stage match, but the first stage is always the wood chop. The wood chop is a big 4x4 post. Your whole squad lines up in a single row. Everybody loads one round. Everybody takes one shot at it. And when you go up the second time, you load 2 rounds. You take 2 shots. And you go up to 5 rounds in succession. So like any other match, you have your divisions. Texas Kalashnikov has a unique division called 2 Gucci for 1 gun, and that's where you can take a different gun to each stage. So what I chose for the 2 Gucci for 1 gun was an MC51 and PSA AK74. So I used the MC51 on the wood chop, just kind of brought it so, you know, after the match everybody could have a little fun with it, see this crazy gun that, you know, people don't get to see too much.
There was one stage where it was the IED factory, and yet
That's what they're for, man. I don't believe in safe queens. So I used the MC51 on the wood chop, and I actually did bring the post down and got the... There's also a water jug you gotta shoot, and then after that you shoot the bottom of the post and there's an exploding target in there. I only had the round left to actually shoot the water jug, so next person got the exploding target. But so my squad started on stage 2. Stage 2 was called PSL. It was called PSL because there was one static target at the beginning that was not on the timer that you could, if you get that, you don't have to get it while you are on the timer. And that one, you shoot it with a PSL, baby.
I got you. Oh, I didn't get video either.
Mama. Alright, just don't limp wrist it.
we already got one.
Ooh.
So I did get the water bottle with the PSL, and I did continue on, and overall on this stage, I mean, I didn't do great, you know. There was like, I think 80 shooters or something, 70 shooters or something like that, and I got 39th. Not the best, not the worst, but that's overall. In my division, I got 7th, so, you know, not too bad, you know. So I was actually kind of trying to stack it against a harder score because, you know, you do have the potential to do better when you can choose the exact rifle for the exact stage. So, you know, that's kind of what I was going for. So that stage went okay. Unfortunately, I did get 2 misses, so that's, you know, 20 seconds of penalty time. So that's, you know, kind of why I came in down at, what was it, got my scores right here open. Yeah, 39th. That's, you know, 20 seconds off. No bueno, man. No bueno. It's 10 seconds each miss, so yeah, you got to get on target at Texas Kalashnikov.
Hopefully. Bye.
There you go.
Second stage, a couple of the stages we were filming, you know, I think everybody's had this with an iPhone where you try to transfer a file and it gets corrupted. So unfortunately, some of my stage footage got corrupted when I was transferring it, so I didn't get it all. But This stage, you got some 2 VTACs. You know, you take some shots from one side, and you know, you got your long range shots, and you got to run over and take some more long range shots. It was exactly like the exercise we were doing from window to window in the drill video. So on this stage, you had 2 VTACs. You hit the targets, and then you had to run up, grab some fool's gold out of a thing, you know, because this was their St. Patrick's Day match. So you had to grab a fool's gold out of a box, and then you had to hold on to that, back up, and shoot a target behind a leprechaun. So that one went much better than the first stage. I mean, you know, first stage jitters. I got 16th overall, so not too bad. No penalties, clean run. In the division, I got 6th, so not bad, not bad. Not doing bad at this match so far. Could have done better with the penalties, but we're moving along. We're moving along. Unfortunately, 3rd stage I did. Best stage of the day. Footage also got corrupted, of course, of course. So this stage went all right. I got 21st overall, and I got 4th in the division, so not bad, not bad. So I definitely did better in this match than I usually do, but I could actually tell what my shortcomings were in this match with this particular rifle. And I mean, it just really came down to I'm not trained up on this rifle, and I was rocking that high-rise optics setup, and that did prove to be a problem, and I can show you why on the next stage here. Next stage, shoot house. I actually did get the footage to upload. Last stage, you could really see a training problem here, and it's not immediately obvious, but you know, I just went through and mapped out my whole plan for the stage beforehand like anybody else would, and it was just one of those instances where you could just see the beep happen and my plan crumble. And so, you know, I get my hits and I'm moving across the stage and I miss one. And so, you know, I take the long range shots and you can, you know, I can hear, hey, you missed one, you missed one. I'm like, oh, jeez.
Are you in fact ready?
I am in fact ready.
Stand by.
That helps.
Hit, dead on.
High left. High. Low. Hit. One more.
Are you sure you're done?
So I was just fucking around, and I turned back and I just rapid fired the thing. You know, I'm like, whatever, you know. And here's where you can actually see the training problem with this thing, because the height over bore, you saw that optics setup. Yeah, I was sticking up there. I had that tall 1/3 AR co-witness riser on there, and the height over bore, you could see when I rapid fired, I didn't get any penalties on this stage, so I did get the hits on there, but most of them did not land.
Thank you so much.
So it wasn't a problem with the setup. Problem was me. Problem was me. I didn't work the setup enough to actually know it. You know, but whatever, it happens. I thought I was going to light that thing up. Someone went over to paste it going, oh, fucking asshole. And it actually wasn't too bad. So overall, I'm happy with my performance, considering that I took the 74 on each scored stage and stacked against anybody that was actually being able to choose their rifle per stage and figure out what they wanted to use per stage. I'm actually pretty happy with my performance. I came in 27th overall, so really can't complain about that. Came in 6th in the division. Can't complain about that. That's much better than I usually do. Definitely better than when I started out. I mean, when I started out, I was getting in them like 50s, something like that. You know, pretty far down there. But, you know, live and you learn. So, you know, thing turned out not to be a piece of junk. Turned out not to be a piece of junk. Turned out to be a fairly good rifle for the price. So one thing I could say about the PSA AK74, really where its value lies is that if you're not a parts kit Johnny and you have to have an import, you have to have an FB Ratum, you have to have a Romanian import parts kit in the very least. You know, if you're not one of them people, this might actually be a good option for you. You know, if you can pick it up for under the market value, which admittedly is a bit high very generally on like something like, say, Gun Broker, or locally here in Texas we have Texas Gun Trader. So, you know, I could say I do think it does have its place in the market. I do think it has market value. You just don't want to pay $1,500 for this thing. Next time we use a 74, which, considering ammo prices rising through the roof right now, might be a little bit, you know, but next time we use a 74, we use a more familiar optics setup, something a little more cheek weldy. Didn't really work out. I really can't complain about my performance, and really I just gotta train harder, train harder. We'll get better, we'll get better. Yeah, but, you know, gear familiarity is part of it. Gear familiarity is part of it. So, and where it's gone from where it started, I've been able to increase my scores by 25% in the actual percentages. So, not bad, not bad. But I popped that optic off of there, popped that on another rifle, which we are going to be doing some testing on. I have more than one optic, I promise. No, seriously, I just don't want to be using that 74 right now with this ammo crunch. So 545 still available, but considering the availability of it is going to dwindle a little bit, and the price will go up invariably, I'm actually going to put the 74 away a little bit, but we did get it up to about the 1,500 round range, and, you know, no major malfunctions, nothing loose on it whatsoever. It's operating perfectly fine, so, you know, we'll see. Time will tell with the 74. Time will tell with the 74. That's my only 74. I don't own any dope 74s. I don't have a, you know, 545 crank or anything like that, unfortunately. They're pretty damn hard to find. You know, if I could find a parts kit, I'd have one. But, hey, if any of y'all can find a crank parts kit that ain't $5,000, jeez, man. So if you can find one of these in the 800 range, I say it's a go, because that's actually kind of a value. Unfortunately, AKs are very, very expensive right now. You do not want to pay $1,500 for this, but the realism is, for not too much more, you can get much better rifles. You know, you do have KUSA, you do have Zastava. You know, some folks don't like the American AKs, some folks don't like Yugos. In that case, you can also get yourself a parts kit for under $1,000 and have it built for under $1,000 probably. So you do have to keep that in mind. And that includes finding 74 kits, because 74 kits you can find for about $800 sometimes, $1,000 sometimes. You know, if you're not a builder, if you're looking for a cheap rifle, if you're not using this thing heavy and you're not going into war, I'd say the value is good if you can get it for a low cost. But this is not a $1,500 rifle, that is for sure. That is for sure. So hopefully we can get this thing up there in the round count and really test it to its limits. I'd like to get this guy up to about 2,000 rounds before checking it out and doing a video on the internals and see the firing pin, see the lugs, see the wear pattern, see how it's doing, and see if we're getting anything similar to Mishiko, that fucking dude that used to watch that dumped mud all over his goddamn AK. Speaking of dudes that dump mud all over their AKs, I want to say a special thank you to Clayco47 for helping me with the match footage. Go check out his channel. He's got one of the best AK channels on YouTube. It's Clay with a K. Go check it out. And if you need a dope shirt, dope hat, go grab something from his merch company, Third Pin Threads. Grab something like that. These ain't bullshit Gildan. These are actually soft and comfortable. And everything's pretty reasonably priced, for real. So, boils, ghouls, zools, that is all I have for you today. Stay safe, shoot fast, have fun.